Good people, what is going on? Another episode of the All Go podcast. Excuse me. I'm your host, Desmond. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Been off a little bit as far as posting videos. This past weekend, went to Nashville with my wife, and it was our anniversary trip, even though our anniversary is in September. But did not do much posting. With good reason. Was enjoying the city and enjoying our trip. So, anywho, in that time, saw the Detroit Lions beat the Chicago Bears. I was actually driving home while that game was going on, and the Lions went down. And my initial thought, because I am just jaded and scarred and just beaten as a fan, is that they're definitely going to lose, and they end up winning it. Jeff Okuda made a huge play with the pick six. Aiden Hutchinson, which I once again want to remind you, if you live in Detroit, there's a certain local radio station that was telling you that the Lions made a mistake drafting Aiden Hutchinson and that they should have gone with Davis or, who, mind you, is not playing, Kayvon Thibodeau. And I don't even know how many sacks Tibbs has, but I was always under the feeling the Lions got the right guy. But nonetheless, big plays from Aiden, not only sack, but also, making some tackles and things of that nature. So Lions end up winning. And all of a sudden, with just one win, things change a bit, right? So instead of now kind of the thought of just draft pick, right? We just want to lose and just we need a new quarterback and all those thoughts that come into fans' mind, agree or not, but it does. Now it is, a win on Sunday against the Giants, who I know Giants are 7-2, but I think we would all agree that they aren't world beaters. But if the Lions win that game, they would move to 4-6, if I'm not mistaken, and they would be in the mix for potential playoff spot. Now, the difficult part is they play Sunday. If they lose, it really doesn't matter. The future kind of just doesn't matter, because I would say you would go to 3-7, and you got the Bills coming, to Detroit on Thanksgiving. If you've been watching the Thanksgiving games in the last couple of years, it's just not going to be great. But you look at it on the flip side, if the Lions can get to 4-6. Now, I'm not saying we're going to beat the Bills. I want to make it very clear. I am not saying that. But if the Bills come in and aren't on their A game, and I know that if that Sunday game, if they beat the Giants, I think Ford Field is going to be rocking. I think that's one of the more underrated things, is the home field advantage when we've got something to play for. The Detroit Lions fans are terrific. They really are. And I know we always play at 1 o'clock on Sundays because no one wants to see us in prime time because we haven't been playing in meaningful games. So I get that. So if you're not a Lions fan, you may not know. But they get rocking for those games. So who knows if Josh Allen comes in and throws a red zone interception? Who knows? But what I will say is the next 4 games that the Lions have is the Giants game on Sunday. They play the Bills on Thanksgiving. They've got Jacksonville Jaguars at home, and then they have the Vikings at home. So those are, if you can parlay that into 3-1 and say you beat the Giants, say you lose to the Bills, beat the Jags, and beat the Vikings, boy, oh boy, we've got it's kind of crazy to think about, and I probably should think about this just one game at a time. But if the Lions get to 4-6, I think, number one, it just may increase the energy of where just the team is mindset-wise. They easily could have mailed in that game against the Bears, and they didn't. So definitely have to give them credit there. Have to give Dan Campbell some credit. I've been, I've been a lot critical of him this season because I feel like we are a more talented team than what our record shows. And that is essentially, there's a portion of it that's on the players, but a lot of that is on the coaching staff. Like, you have to put your guys in positions to win. We aren't a historically bad defense. Like, we've seen some defenses who are bad. That Atlanta Falcons defense from a couple years ago, they had no talent on the defense. We've got some talent. I'm not telling you we've got guys who are going to start for any other team in the NFL, but we have some talent. So that's been my criticism. So if the Lions win on Sunday, wow, we're going to have a lot to talk about. So we'll see what happens. Appreciate you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. And that is it for me. Peace.